Hey everyone, it's Animation Rewind here, and welcome to an appetizer episode of Rewind Rumble. I know it's been quite some time since we did one of these, but we're back in action, so stay tuned for more content, and I hope you enjoyed this episode.
The Noble One. Heaven Ascension Dio versus the creator of the Pokémon world, Arceus. One who created Pokémon Heaven, one ascended into JoJo Heaven, and only one will win. Today we find out who that is. Let's introduce Cartoon Fight Club's next round of fighters. Dio is back. And since he's back, you already know that we've covered him before, so in terms of going over his origins, powers, abilities, and feats, I'm actually going to be skipping most of that. Today we'll be focusing on Dio over Heaven's Ascension form. However, for those people who do want to know about Dio's origins, powers, abilities, and feats, Dio vs. Alucard on the Rewind Rumble channel will provide you with that. So go watch that for base form Dio's information. Have you done that yet? Okay, good. Let's start the pre-analysis. Funny enough, Heaven Ascension Dio is actually not the same Dio that the Joestars have fought so many times. This Dio comes from an alternate universe outside the canon JoJo timeline, where Dio actually killed every single Joestar. This version of Dio actually reached his goal of obtaining Heaven. As a result of this achievement, Dio was granted godlike abilities, as well as the ultimate stand known as the World Over Heaven. Dio gained access to this stand by collecting the souls of the 36 sinners. With all of these abilities, Dio became unrivaled and unstoppable. But what are these abilities, you might be asking? Well, let's start off with his new and improved stand. His original, the World stand, was already able to freeze time, allowing Dio to get the upper hand over his opponents as they would be frozen from his perspective. But with this World Over Heaven stand, he can do more than that. This stand actually has the power to overwrite reality itself, allowing Dio to rewrite anything within any timeline. The only thing Dio can't rewrite is the stand's overall range, and of course, it still maintains its incredible strength, speed, and precision. As for Dio's own natural abilities without the stand, his Heaven Ascension form grants him powers of teleportation, instantaneous regeneration, mind control, resurrecting of the dead, and the power to summon powerful lightning bolts, as well as the ability to travel through dimensions. However, something interesting to know about this form, while he definitely has the power to rewrite anything to his will, when we come to the physical aspects of Dio, things are actually much more tame in comparison. Of course, he isn't physically weak. He survived a direct punch in the face from Star Platinum, although he didn't have to regenerate from that punch. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that power-wise, Dio's power is pretty much an unstoppable god, possibly even a universe-level threat with this ability to rewrite anything. But physically, he hasn't actually done much anything close to destroying a universe, just rewriting it. I'm not saying rewriting the universe is an impressive feat. I'm explaining that rewriting a universe is not exactly the same thing as destroying it with a blast of energy. But in terms of actual weaknesses, Dio's dimensional travel is actually extremely dangerous, not to just the people around him, but also Dio himself. No two versions of the same person or thing can coexist in the same dimension. Let me run an example by you real quick. If JoJo Part 3 Dio or something connected to Part 3 Dio like his golden bracelet rings come into contact with Heaven Ascension Dio, or their matching item, both versions will collide and destroy each other. Jotaro exploited this weakness by destroying Heaven Ascension Dio's arms with the Part 3 Dio's bracelet rings. Speaking of Dio's arms, if he loses them, he can no longer use his stand abilities. He can regenerate his arms, but if he isn't fast enough to do so, a foe can get the upper hand against him, and he also can't regenerate his arms if they make contact with, you guessed it, anything belonging to Part 3 Dio. Arceus is a normal type mythical Pokemon, introduced in Generation 4. This Pokemon is known as the creator of the Pokemon world, so if you're a fan of the series, a fan of Pikachu, Eevee, Mewtwo, and especially Snorlax, you can thank this guy. Arceus has the highest space stat total of any Pokemon, which you better believe makes him one of the most powerful Pokemon in the series. Arceus' signature move is known as Judgment. Judgment is a move where Arceus fires powerful beams of energy into the sky that fall down and hits its opponents. Acting almost like a meteor shower, this move is so strong that it's known to even give Pokemon such as Palkia some trouble. As for some of his other moves, from beginning to end, he has the moves Flamethrower, Blizzard, Twister, Time Stop, Gravity, Refresh, Perish Song, Earth Power, Recover, Future Sight, Cosmic Power, Punishment, Hyper Voice, Natural Gift, Seismic Toss, Hyper Beam, Outrage, and Shadow Claw. All of these different types of moves grant Arceus elemental attacks such as Fire, Ice, and Wind, boost his own stats, manipulate the legs of gravity, and even stop time itself. This Pokemon is also a genius, as it's been stated that its peak intelligence is omnipresent, meaning it knows pretty much everything and anything. Not even like a super genius like Batman or Rick Sanchez can reach that level of intelligence. Arceus also has a special ability unique only to it, known as Multi-Type. Multi-Type allows Arceus to change its type based on whichever plate or specific Z-crystal it's currently holding. As a quick example of how this move works, if Arceus is holding a Flame plate, then it makes it a Fire type. If it's holding Waterium Z, then it makes it a Water type. Then of course there is Omnipotent, which gains Arceus Omnipotence, making it impossible for any opponent no matter how strong to defeat it. No, I'm kidding. That's not what this move does. Omnipotent is actually a series of abilities that grant Arceus the power to heal any wounds it may take during a fight, see into the future, strike opponents who are even incorporeal, and ignore defensive bonuses and resistances. As if all these abilities weren't enough, Arceus has another ability known as Spatial or Temporal Warp. As the creator of the two powerhouses known as Palkia and Dialga, Arceus has the power to completely wipe things out of both space and time. As for weaknesses, the one thing that can hinder or damage him is if he is missing certain plates. For example, while missing the Earth, Meadow, Draco, Zap, and Splash plates, Pikachu is able to momentarily hinder Arceus with its Thunderbolt attack.
And now, let's get ready for the fight. This battle will take place on Earth, and remember, there is no prep time. Let the battle begin!
Who dares teleport me without permission?
最高に入ってやつだこのディオに対して
Look, creature, I don't care about your stupid ambitions. Now, let me meet his hate. How dare you! No, forgetting all with you, my choice is decisive. Come and get some cosmic dose.
とどめだ今日からやってみろ
Ready?
ワールド 最高に入ってやつだ
Rocks? What is that? You really are powerful and have great touch matter force. Do you deserve a fight? But I have already made a choice. To vanish you away for eternity!
Hopefully you enjoyed that animation, and if you did, super special thanks to Team Animation Rewind's Hampton Pro. I'd also like to give a huge thank you to Gray Julius for being the editor and host of this episode. Of course, thanks to your boy Mecha, the SS Ultimate Goku, BTL Video Productions, and Fintan Majora for helping with the research. Thanks, and enjoy the post-analysis.
And the winner is Arceus. This is kind of a close fight. There's no easy way to put it into words. These two have abilities that can certainly give each other trouble, but at the same time, Arceus also has so much on his side that it's also kind of not hard to see why he could beat Dio, even in his Heaven Ascension form. This will also take quite a bit of explaining to do, so let's not waste any time and get straight into the conclusion. Yes, Dio has the power to rewrite anything to his will thanks to his stand, the world over heaven. But his power of rewriting is the best thing in his arsenal, while everything else in his arsenal, while impressive in its own right, none of it comes close to Dio's reality rewriting ability. Meanwhile, all of Arceus' abilities are just as powerful as the last. In a way, all of Dio's abilities can be considered top-heavy, which means that his own strongest move will definitely cause trouble, but all of his other abilities, while still powerful in their own right, are rather weak in comparison, while Arceus' powers are much more evened out. Ignoring powers for a second and comparing these two stat-wise, it's not even close. Yes, Heaven Ascension Dio did rewrite his whole universe, but in terms of actual attack potency, he really only reached large building level. And remember, just because Dio created a dimension with multiple stars in it, that actually doesn't equate to destroying a dimension, as we never see Dio do something like that. And rewriting a universe is not the same as destroying it. So while Dio's power is very impressive, his best feats of actual physical strength only reach large building level. Arceus, on the other hand, is known as the god who transcends everything. His realm is beyond time and space. It has been stated that the heart/original spirit is the true form of Arceus. The heart treats the Pokémon reality, which is likely made of countless, to possibly even infinite universes existing within its consciousness, of which the cosmology only expands as its consciousness enriches. This puts Arceus at a low complex multiversal level. Also, Arceus completely speed blitzes Dio, while Dio is fast, being superior to his canon self, which would make him MFTL, especially with his world over heaven stand. Arceus has been stated to be everywhere and nowhere all at once, making it omnipresent. This Pokemon's consciousness extends beyond time and space, so yeah, Dio is not likely going to catch him, even with his time freezing abilities, and even then, Arceus can do the same to him. Arceus can just do the same to him. This fight is a really classic case of anything you can do, I can do better. And let's not forget that Arceus is also omnipresent. Dio is smart in his own right, but being omnipresent means you basically know everything. Not just the answers to every problem in the world, but also knowing what your opponent is going to do, how to counter it, and how to defeat them. With this incomparable intelligence gap, Arceus could easily figure out how to destroy Dio's arms, preventing him from using his universe rewriting and then freezing him in time so he can destroy the rest of Dio. Now, I am willing to be nice and say that Dio's rewriting might be dangerous for Arceus. So if he actually got the chance, I can see him rewriting Arceus to not be as powerful as he is. But the chances of that realistically happening in this kind of fight are about 0.1% to 99.9%. There's a reason that Dio had to do so much in order to obtain godlike powers, because he wasn't fit to be a god in the first place, making the winner of this battle, Arceus.
On the next episode of Rewind Rumble.
I'll make you pay. Be all you can be, punk. You're finished, punk. All right.